Time for another installment of The Basics, and I apologize for the delay between episodes. I've been very busy with work and quite tired, and sometimes I just can't think up an episode to film for the life of me. But moving back to Magic the Gathering for a short period of time, I want to talk about cards you should think about in a red, black, gold combination colored deck. So let's get started, shall we? I noticed a while back on a previous episode I did in regards to combination decks, i.e. multicolor, there was interest as to what is in my red, black, gold deck. So I'm going to take you through not every card I have, but I will explain the combinations and the quads I have in this deck and why they are there and why you should probably use them in your red, black, gold deck. Obviously the big one being mana. You do want three different colors of mana. So you want your black, you want your red, and you want your colorless mana because they come in handy. Your red and black are basic land cards to add to your mana pool. Because this deck does have goblins in it, the colorless land that I choose to use is Goblin Burrows. So you add one to your mana pool, obviously, but target goblin gets +2/+0 until end of turn. That can be huge with goblin creatures in play. Army Ants. So they cost 3 to bring out. 1 red, 1 black, and 1 of your choice. It's a 1/1 creature. Now if you use a quad of this, they're very useful. After you tap it, sacrifice a land, destroy target land. Also comes in very handy. And if you're playing these at the beginning of a game, even though they're 1/1, if you have 4 of them out in short order, they're not bad. Axelrod Gunnarsson, you've heard me talk about this card before on this show, and it does cost a lot to bring out. 2 red, 2 black, and 4 of your choice after that. So that's 8 to bring out, but a 5/5 creature also has trample. Whenever a creature is damaged by Axelrod Gunnarsson and put into the graveyard, you gain 1 life and Axelrod deals 1 damage to target player. This is a great heavy hitter to bring out later in the game once you're established. One of the quads of artifacts I use in this deck, Celestial Sword. Again, it's a bit high on the cost at 6, but the target creature you control gets +3/+3 until the end of turn. At end of turn, bury that creature. That is awesome. Imagine if you're using Axel Gunnarsson out on the battlefield and then you put Celestial Sword on him. That's going to be awesome no matter how you look at it. Corrosion. Now, I'm going to be a bit of a hypocrite because I normally hate cards that deal with counters, but I like Corrosion. It's low cost, which is 3. It has a cumulative upkeep of 1. During your upkeep, put a rust counter on each artifact target opponent controls. If the number of rust counters on an artifact equals or exceeds that artifact's casting cost, bury the artifact. If Corrosion leaves play, remove all rust counters from the game. This is one of those few cards with counters that I actually like. So I'm technically not a full hypocrite, maybe just off to the side a little bit. But it is an awesome card to use. The low cost makes it very attractive to keep a quad in your deck. Wrecking Ball, cost of 4. It's an instant, destroy target creature or land. Obviously there are cards that do this in red and a few in black, with possibly less of a cost. But Wrecking Ball is cool, especially if you already have a whole pile of mana out there. Finally, another artifact, Bladed Bracers. It only costs 1 to bring out. Artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. It's a fast upgrade. As long as equipped creature is a human or an angel, it has vigilance. Low cost card, very useful. Again, you have to tailor it to what you're building in your red, black, gold combination deck, because again, this deck is centered around goblins, destruction, and a couple heavy hitters like Axelrod. So for me, these cards work. You have to be very careful when you're building a multicolored deck, as I've mentioned before. You not only have to take into account the 35% mana rule, but also tailor the gold cards to the deck. Now, as an addendum to all that, I have talked to other players over the years that use multicolor decks and that involve the gold cards. Some of them are hesitant to use high-cost creatures like Axelrod Gunnarsson or cards like Celestial Sword. They are heavy on other cards like Army Ants to bring out quickly due to the low cost. It's a mix and match sort of thing. As I said, you have to tailor it to the deck. Make sure you have the right amount of mana, but keep a lot of those colorless mana and scrutinize them carefully as to what they do before you put them in a red, black, gold deck. That's all for today, everybody. Have a great day.